Hello everyone, I am Mishika here, and today we are going to be doing the part 2 of George's Marvelous Medicine. In part 1, we had read the chapter 1, Grandma, and today we are going to be reading the chapter 2, The Marvelous Plan. So, let's start. The Marvelous Plan. George sat himself down at the table in the kitchen. He was shaking a little. Oh, how he hated Grandma! He really hated that horrid old witchy woman. And all of a sudden, he had a tremendous urge to do something about her, something whopping, something absolutely terrific. A sort of explosion. He wanted to blow away the witchy smell that hung about her in the next room. He might have only been 8 years old, but he was a brave little boy. He was ready to take this woman on. I'm not going to be frightened by her, he said softly to himself. But he was frightened, and that's why he wanted to suddenly explode her away. Well, not quite away, but he did want to shake up the old woman a bit. Well then, what should it be, this whopping, terrific, exploding shock of a grandma? He would have liked to put a firework banger under her chair, but he didn't have one. He would like to put a green snake down the back of her dress, but he didn't have a long green snake. He would like to put six big black rats in the room with her and lock the door, but he didn't have six rats. As George sat there pondering this interesting problem, his eye fell upon the bottle of Grandma's brown medicine standing on the sideboard. Rotten stuff it seemed to be. 4 times a day, a large spoonful of it shoveled into her mouth, and it didn't do her the slightest bit of good. She was always just as horrid after she'd had it, af- since she had been before. The whole point of the medicine, surely, was to make a person better. If it didn't do that, then it was quite useless. So, ho! thought George suddenly. Aha! Oh, hum! I know exactly what I'll do. I shall make her a new medicine, one that is so strong and so fierce and so fantastic it will either cure her completely or blow her off her head. I'll make her a magic medicine, a medicine no doctor in the world has ever made before. George looked at the kitchen clock. It said 10:05. There was nearly half an hour left before Grandma's next dose was due to 11. Here we go, then, she cried, George, jumping from the table. A magic medicine it shall be. So give me a bug and a jumping flea, give me two snails and a lizard tree, a slimy squiggler from the sea, a poisonous sting of a bumblebee, and the juice from fruit of a juboo tree, and the powdered bone of a wombat's knee, and 100 other things as well, each with a nasty smell. I'll stir them up, I'll boil them long, a mixture tough, a mixture strong, and hey ho, down it goes, a nice spoonful. Hold your nose, just gulp it down, have no fear. How do you like it, Granny dear? Will she go pop? Will she explode? Will she go flying down the road? Will she go puff in a smoke? Will she start fizzing like a can of Coke? Who knows, not I. Let's wait and see. I'm glad it's neither you or me. Oh, Grandma, if you only knew what I have got in store for you. George, Chapter 3. George begins to make his medicine. George took an enormous saucepan out of the cupboard and placed it on the kitchen table. George, came the shrill voice of the girl in the next room. What are you doing? Nothing, Grandma, he called out. You didn't think I can't hear you just because you closed the door? You're rattling saucepans. I'm just tidying the kitchen, Grandma. Then there was a silence. George had absolutely no doubts whatsoever how he was going to make his famous medicine. He wasn't going to fool about wondering whether I had to put a bit of this or a bit of that. Quite simply, he was going to put everything he had to find. There would be no messing about, no hesitating, no wondering whether a particular thing would knock the old girl sideways or not. The rule would be this: whatever he saw, it was runny, powdery, or gooey, it just went in. Nobody had ever made a medicine like that before. If it didn't actually cure grandma, then it would be worth anyway, cause some exciting results. It would be worth watching. George decided to work around his way to various rooms, one at a time, and see what they had to offer. He would first go to the bathroom. There are anyway loads of funny things in a bathroom. So, upstairs he went carrying the enormous two-handled saucepan before him. In the bathroom, he gazed longingly at the famous dreaded medicine cupboard, but he didn't go near it. The only thing in the entire house he was forbidden to touch was that. He had made solemn promises to his parents about this, and he wasn't going to break them. There were actually things in there, they had told him, that could kill a person. Although he was out to give Grandma a pretty fair mouthful, he didn't really want a dead body on his hands. George put the saucepan on the floor and went to work. Number one was a bottle labeled Golden Gloss Hair Shampoo. He emptied it into the whole pan. Now to wash her tummy nice and clean, he said. Then he took a full tube of toothpaste and squeezed the whole lot in one long whirl. Maybe that would brighten up those horrid brown teeth of hers. Then there was an aerosol can of soap foam shaving salt and belonging to his father. George loved playing with aerosols. He pressed the button and kept his finger on until there was nothing left. A wonderful mountain of white foam built up in the giant saucepan. With his fingers, he scooped up the contents of a jar of vitamin-enriched face cream. It went in a small bottle of scarlet nail varnish. The toothbrush doesn't clean her teeth, she said. Then this would paint them as red as roses. He found another jar of creamy stuff labeled hair remover. Smear it on your legs and allow it to remain on 5 minutes, it said. George dipped it all in the saucepan. There was a bottle of yellow stuff inside because dishwash famous dandruff cure. It went in. There was something called brilliant cleaning for false teeth. It was a white powder that went in too. He found another aerosol can. Nevermore pumpkin deodorant spray. Guaranteed, it said, to keep away unpleasant body smells for a whole day. He could use plenty of that, George said as he sprayed the entire canful into the saucepan. Liquid paraffin, the next one said, was a big bottle. He hadn't the faintest idea what it did to you, but he poured it anyway. And that, he thought, looking around him, was all of from the bathroom. On his mother's dressing table in the bedroom, George found yet another lovely aerosol can. It was Helga's hair set. Hold 12 inches away from the head and spray lightly. He enjoyed squirting the whole thing into the saucepan. He loved aerosols. There was a bottle of perfume called Flowers of Turnips. It smelled like old cheese. In it went. And into went a large box of powder. It was called Pink Plaster. There was a powder puff on top, and he threw that as well for luck. He found a couple of lipsticks. He pulled the greasy red things out of their cases and added them to the mixture. The bedroom carried nothing more to offer, so George carried the enormous saucepan down the stairs again and trotted into the laundry room, where the shelves were full of all kinds of household items. The first one which he took was a large box of super wines for automatic washing machines. Dirt, it said. will disappear like magic. George didn't know whether Grandma was automatic or not, and she was scared to leave the dirty old woman. She'd better have it all, he said, tipping the whole box full. Then there was a big tin of waxful floor polish. It removes filth and foul messes from your floor and leaves everything shiny bright, it said. George scooped the orange colored waxy stuff out of the tin and plonked it in the pan. There was a round cupboard carton labeled flea powder for dogs. Keep well away from the dog's food, it said, because this powder, if eaten, will make the dog explode. Good, said George, pouring it all into the saucepan. He found a box of canary seed on the shelf. Perhaps it'll make the old bird sing, he said, and in it went. Next, George explored the box with shoe cleaning materials, brushes and tins and dusters. Well, he thought, Grandma's medicine is brown, so my medicine also should be brown. Or she will know. There, one way to color it, he decided, would be the brown shoe polish. The large tin he chose was labeled dark tan. Splendid! He scooped it all with an old spoon and plopped it into the pan. He would stir it up later. On the next day, he saw a bottle of gin standing on the sideboard. Grandma was very fond of gin. She was allowed to have a small lip every evening. Now he would give her a treat. He would pour a whole bottle. Back in the kitchen, George put the huge saucepan on the table and went on the cupboards served the larder. The shelves were bulging with bottles and jars of every sort. He chose the following and emptied them one by one in the saucepan: a tin of curry powder, a tin of mustard powder, a bottle of extra hot chili sauce, a tin of black peppercorns, a bottle of horseradish sauce. There, he said aloud. That should do it. George! Came the screechy voice from the next room. Who are you talking in there? What are you up to? Nothing, Grandma, absolutely nothing, he called back. Is it time for my medicine yet? No, Grandma, not for half an hour. Well, just so you don't forget. I won't, Grandma, George answered. I promise I won't. So, this is the end of the chapter 3. So, this is all for today. See you next time in our next video. And also, do see the first video, like, comment, and share. Thank you.